So the higher it is, the higher it ranks. So there's three main ways of ranking and establishing credibility. With these two pyramids, they're made up of bricks, right? That's you right there, that one there. That's you. Really, this is the only way of doing it. You shouldn't be doing any shortcuts. Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you a simple framework that you can use to get your services pages and your landing pages for your business to rank #1 on Google. I've used this framework numerous times for all my law firm clients and their services pages and landing pages, but this framework can also be used to get your business's landing pages and service pages to rank #1 as well, regardless of the niche. So this applies to both law firms as well as other trade services, as well as knowledge-based service businesses, small businesses, even agencies for your own clients. Without further ado, let's just jump right in onto the screen and I'll show you how this framework works. So on this page, we're looking at a very simple graph that represents the optimal way to get your service page or your landing page to rank on Google. The x-axis represents the credibility that Google thinks your service page or your landing page has. This is different to your actual credibility, such as your degree, how many years you've been practicing, your expertise and your knowledge or your profile in the industry. This x-axis is purely representing the credibility that Google thinks your service page or your landing page has. Okay. The y-axis represents the ranking of your page. So the higher it is, the higher it ranks. And this table and this graph here clearly represents that the more credibility that you establish in Google's eyes, the higher it ranks. And this is specific to your service page and your landing page. You can also see that there's two dotted lines here. One is in red, that's representing shortcuts, and one in yellow, that's representing one-to-one. Let's talk about the shortcuts method for a second. So there's three main ways of ranking and establishing credibility. With the shortcuts method, you're trying to rank high using shortcuts, right? And by that, I mean you're trying to rank as high as you can without having to establish as much credibility as someone else who's doing the proper way would have to do in order to rank the same position. The shortcuts way could look something like using AI to generate articles in high volume, but they don't really help anyone because they're just AI generated garbage, or using AI to generate videos like faceless videos on YouTube. That's again in high volume, but they don't provide any value to anyone. That's the shortcuts method. Another shortcuts method is, traditionally speaking, purchasing really crappy backlinks from Fiverr, right? Where those backlinks don't really come from reliable sources that Google trusts. Previously, backlinks did indicate that your service page or your landing page is credible and helpful because there's a lot of pages linking to your service page or your landing page. But we all know those are shortcuts, and in the end, they don't last. The yellow dotted line here is represented with one-to-one. What does that mean? The one-to-one method of establishing credibility is probably what you're doing right now with your law firm. And that's either intentionally or unintentionally. That's a really, really slow way of having your service page or your landing page or your homepage rank on the first page or even rank 1 on Google. How so? So the one-to-one method is where you're simply providing advice over email, over a consultation on Zoom or in person on a one-to-one basis. So you're talking to someone on a one-on-one basis, and that person is really happy with your advice, and in the future they might Google you again and search your firm, click on your search result, and then hire you again. And perhaps they might talk to their friends and family or their colleagues or their people that they know, tell them how great you are, and then those people in the future, when they have legal problems, might also Google for your law firm and click on your search result. Over time, your organic traffic from those people will contribute to Google thinking there is credibility with your service page or your landing page. But it's ultra slow and not very efficient at all. And to be honest, if you're doing this method, it's very, very unlikely that you're ranking #1, let alone on the first page of Google. So that's the one-to-one method, where you can see here, where you're establishing credibility in Google's eyes over time, right, by providing great advice to your clients, leads one-to-one and all that, but you're not increasing in your rankings at all. So that's the one-to-one method. The one-to-many method represents the most optimal way of getting your service page and your landing page actually rank high on Google. What's the one-to-many? Well, the one-to-many method is essentially providing advice that can be seen as many people as possible, or providing content, helpful articles to as many people as you can. So instead of providing advice over email that's seen by one recipient in private, you're publishing advice with a blog post directly onto your website that can be seen by many people. Or you're publishing advice over a recorded webinar or a YouTube video that you publish directly on the internet to be seen by many people. And by doing that, by attracting as many people as possible to your advice, there's more likelihood that your service page and your landing page on your website will be seen as more credible by Google, because Google can start seeing that organic traffic from their search results are all going to your blog posts, to your website, to your law firm, to your business. Google will associate all that traffic to a related service page or a landing page on your website and rank that page a lot higher than a competitor, because Google interprets all that traffic as indications that your firm, that your website, that your landing page, service page is more credible, more reliable, and more helpful than a competitor. And so that's why one-to-many is the most optimal way of getting your law firm service page or a landing page to rank number one. I could stop right there, but I'm just going to keep going and show you another simple concept to really push this message home. So let's start off with these two pyramids here. With these two pyramids, they're made up of bricks, right? The brick at the very top represents the landing page or the service page that you want to rank highly on Google. And every other brick underneath it that builds up the pyramid represents a piece of helpful content, like a blog post, an article, tutorial, how-to videos, social media posts that build up your credibility in Google's eyes. So the more helpful content that you provide and bigger the base, the higher the pyramid can be built up. And the higher the pyramid, the higher your landing page will rank on Google. It's a very simple analogy. So you can see here that this landing page is not ranking as high as this landing page because they don't have as much helpful content as this page, as this website here, which has a lot more helpful content. So this pyramid here represents someone who's doing the one-to-many method of trying to rank their landing page number one on Google. If I were to draw a pyramid that represents the one-to-one method, it would honestly look like this. That's it. It'll look like that. Just one landing page with no helpful content being published at all. Because with the one-to-one method, you're not publishing any content. You're not getting your expertise and your credibility visible by other people. You're doing it all over private channels. Yes, you may have some law blogs on your website that you've published once every 2 months, once every 3 months. There's so many law firms out there. You can admit it yourself that's been publishing really, really short or low effort articles that's not optimized to help people, that's not optimized to convert leads into clients, that's not providing enough information and value that stands out above the rest of the competition. That's you right there, that one there, that's you. So your law firm, when you're doing the one-to-one method, your landing page will likely rank a lot lower than this law firm that has built up a small library of helpful content, which is attracting organic attention from Google's search users, and which Google can see indicates credibility, and hence why this law firm's landing page is ranking higher. But then you have another law firm here that's publishing a whole lot more helpful content on a higher frequency, that's a lot more helpful, a lot more useful, and hence their landing page is ranking a lot higher than this law firm here. So that's the difference between trying to rank your landing page or service page using the one-to-many method versus using the one-to-one method. What about trying to get your landing page to rank using the one-to-many method versus the shortcuts method? Well, I've got a neat little drawing here. So this big pyramid represents a law firm that has their landing page ranking highly on Google based on a lot of helpful content that they've provided, which establishes credibility in Google's eyes. To the right of that, we have a law firm that has a landing page that's ranking in a similar position as the other law firm, but their foundations are very flimsy and vulnerable. How so? Well, you can see here, they've stacked their bricks to pretty much try to rank at the same position or rank higher than their competitors, but they haven't built a strong enough foundation, meaning if there's any changes to Google's formulas, to the way Google ranks search results and landing pages, if there's any small change, it can lead to that landing page crashing in the search results, or even just being de-indexed altogether. And that's because they haven't built a strong foundation of helpful content that establishes that landing page's credibility over a competitor. And so that's the difference between trying to get your landing page to rank using shortcuts versus trying to get it to rank by using the one-to-many method. Let me show you a few examples, but before I do that, I also got to make sure to flag that the technical SEO, the on-page SEO aspect of your landing page is also really important here. Because with a landing page, you only have so many words, so many elements, and sections that you can publish on that page to provide value, right? Most of the credibility that's been established for that landing page, for your service page, is not done by that actual landing page or service page. It's actually done by all the other content that's been published on your website, on your blog posts, in your insights library, with the guides, with the news articles I've been publishing. It's that content that establishes the credibility of your service page and your landing page. And so with that said, the purpose of the landing page isn't there to do the job of the blog posts or the guides, right? The blog posts and the guides, they do the job of establishing credibility. The landing page and the service page there simply represents all the knowledge and credibility that your firm has in whatever particular practice area that you're trying to rank for. So that is why for a lot of my clients, we would firstly have a landing page that might rank on the second or third pages of Google. And once we start building an insights library, once we start building helpful content that attracts leads, attracts Google search users and provides them value, once we start doing that, then the landing pages themselves will also start ranking higher and higher and higher. So one example is one of our law firm clients, when we first engaged them, I would use NeuronWriter to try to optimize the landing page to rank as high as it can by using NeuronWriter to include certain keywords that NeuronWriter suggests we should include, by ensuring that the technical on-page SEO is really good. For example, using one H1 header, having subtitles and subheadings using H2 headers, and making sure that you have a few tables and all that in there. But doing that solely, just doing that, we were able to get that landing page or service page to rank, I think it was a rank on the first page, but around position 5 to 7. Over time, we didn't do anything to that landing page, but we kept building the insights library. We kept publishing helpful content, guides, tutorials, videos. And after a few more months, we were able to get that landing page to rank number 1 for that practice area search term. Because over time, Google starts seeing that our landing page, this landing page, is a lot more credible than the competitors, because the landing page's website has so much more helpful content that builds the credibility in Google's eyes, that then lets Google think we should probably push this landing page above all else, because this landing page is a lot more credible. So that's just an example of how doing the technical SEO and optimizing the content of a landing page is helpful, but it doesn't go all the way in making sure the landing page or the service page actually ranks number 1 on Google. It really is building the credibility that supports that landing page. And by building credibility, then Google can start seeing that your landing page is a better search result than the competitors. So when we go to Strata Lawyer, for example, this search result, one of the top search results is Watson and Watson. Watson and Watson's landing page is not that optimized at all. And so this is an example that shows that technical SEO, on-page SEO, and on-page keywords, on-page site copy with keyword optimization is not the be-all and end-all. You can see here that it's the landing page is not that great. It's hard to read. It has a lot of spammy. It looks really spammy, right? Not very helpful at all. But it still ranks high. Why is that? It ranks high not because it has stuffed a lot of keywords. It ranks high because when we go to the articles section, we go to our cases and articles, and we go to the publication section, they have hundreds and hundreds of articles dating back 15 years. So if we just do a quick search, read more, they have 255 articles on this website. That is a lot of helpful content that draws a lot of Google's search users to this website, which indicates to Google that the associated landing page, this one here, is more credible than a competitor's, and that's why Google ranked this page higher than, say, another landing page that perhaps does have perfect technical SEO, that does have the perfectly optimized site copy with the required keywords. Another example here is Bannerman's Lawyers. This is also another highly ranking page. When we go to the landing page, there's not a lot of keywords in here, right? There's not a lot of keywords. Their technical SEO is not that great either. Let me show you the technical SEO as well. So what we're looking here is in NeuronWriter, we've done a search query for Strata Lawyer, and then we're looking at the structure of the competitors. This is the search result here. We can see their structure, their technical SEO is not that good at all. They have multiple H1 headers. A lot of their headers A lot of the H1 headers are nonsensical, right? And yet they still rank highly. Why is that? Well, it's because when we go to their knowledge library, their insights library, or their blog archive, they have 45 pages of blogs being published dating back to 2008. So what is that? So 16, 17 years? My math sucks, but 16 to 17 years of content. Because of the volume of content that they've provided, that's helped and attracted Google search users to read their articles and to get value from it. Google sees this associated landing page, in this case is a homepage. Google sees this homepage as being more credible than their competitors because of all the content that they've provided, which has been helpful and is not AI generated fluff. And so because of that, they rank highly on Google. So that hopefully shows you that to get your service page and your landing page to rank highly on Google, you have to make sure that you provide as much helpful content, guides, tutorials, videos, whatever it is, on your website to build the credibility for your service page or your landing page. By having that massive base of that pyramid built up, you're attracting more and more organic traffic of Google search users from the Google search results to your website. And the more that happens, the more Google thinks the associated landing page is more credible because Google could see that there's more people going to your page. And so Google will start ranking your landing page and your service pages higher than the competitors. And really, this is the only way of doing it. You shouldn't be doing any shortcuts because as we've seen from the March update in 2024, a lot of people's landing pages, a lot of people's articles really just crashed in the rankings. And a lot of them have even just been removed from Google's index altogether because they've been using really flimsy, vulnerable foundations to build up that initial ranking that they had achieved previously. And you should certainly stop using the one-to-one method of trying to get your law firm service pages to rank highly on Google. That's just never going to happen. So hopefully this video was helpful. I'm experimenting with different video styles to try to communicate the lessons that I've learned and my experiences with helping law firms and businesses rank highly on Google to get more leads and clients. If you like this type of video, just let me know down in the comments. If there's anything else that you want me to cover, I'll certainly do it. And just to recap then, so until next time, hope you have a good one. See ya.